Make sure I got this on correctly. All right, cool. Make sure I got everything out of my eyes. My teeth are good. All right, all right. Good very morning to everybody. December 26th, the day after Christmas. I hope you guys had a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. Um, I hope y'all spent it with your family, your loved ones, stayed away from the China virus. I hope you guys ate 10 pounds worth of food, tamales, champurrado, whatever y'all ate. I hope you enjoy the hell out of it because I know I sure did. So I'm a little hungover. I had a little too much eggnog, wink, wink, last night. So, but I'm cool. I'm here. I'm here doing the video. We're gonna do it. I got my cup of coffee, so bear with me. And with that out of the way, let's get to it. So today we're gonna be talking about the Badlands Guardian. Once again, the Badlands Guardian. Some of y'all might know what that is, others may not. But today we'll be talking about that. We have, I'm going to be playing some clips of our one and only, our best friend, Giorgio Tsoukalos. Now, a little heads up, I couldn't find clips, from some clips for this video on YouTube or any internet, so I had to go old school and I had to bootleg it. I had to record it from my phone from the TV. So if it looks a little grainy, I couldn't find it anywhere else on the internet. And I have Hulu on my phone, but it wouldn't let me screen record. So I had to go old school and film it. So bear with me on that. But like I said, we're going to be talking about the Badlands Guardians. Throughout this video, I may be just abbreviating it and just say BG because sometimes it's too long of a word. But if you guys may not know, if you guys don't know what the Badlands Guardian, this is it right here. All right, so now that we saw the image, let me ask you guys, what does it look like? What does the BG look like? I'll wait. Do, 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 do. Correct. It looks like a human face. Now, if you want to get more specific, it looks like a Native American human face. But the thing that's so special about this image is that it wasn't a drawing, it wasn't a carving, it wasn't somebody didn't sculpt it. This image is actually found on Google Earth, and it's located in I got my notes. It's located in Gravelbourg, Saskatchewan, up in Canada, by Alberta, Canada. Now, like I said, this is an image found on Google Earth, and some scientists, some modern day scientists, claim that it was naturally formed by Mother Nature, but others have another theory to it. So, like I said, this was found on Google Earth, Google Images, and if you guys don't believe me, guess what? I'm gonna show you too. I'm gonna show you guys it. So let's go on Google Earth. Come on. All right, all right. So you get your phone, open up Google Maps. First, we'll do maps, and then we'll go on Google Earth. The Badlands Guardian, right there. So now you're gonna see you have Badlands Guardian 2, Badlands Guardian, and in Spanish, El Guardián de la Espesura. All right, see, nothing normal. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. But now let's go to satellite mode. And look what we find. Zoom in a little. You keep zooming in. You keep zooming in. And what do we see? The Badlands Guardian right here. I'm going to go on Google Earth to get these two pins out of the way. But you can see right here, there it is, the shape of the Native American. You zoom in and it's going to take you to Township Road. See, so there it is. Badlands Guardian 2. So go ahead and type that, Badlands Guardian. And one of the nearest towns is Walsh. For all my people up in Canada that watch this video, you guys could feel free to comment. So that's that. So pretty interesting, right? At least I think so. Pretty damn interesting. So let me tell y'all how this was discovered. This was discovered by a 53-year-old grandmother by the name of Lynn Hickox. Now the thing was, this was back in 2005, okay? And the thing was, she needed direction. She was taking her grandkid to this dinosaur museum, and she ended up getting lost. So back in 2005, She opened up, I guess, a cell phone. I think they had cell phones with GPS on it back in '05. I think I had the T-Mobile Sidekick back then. But anyways, she opened up her maps, her Google Earth, etc., and she was trying to find directions to this dinosaur museum. And in doing so, as she zoomed out to look at the area, she discovered the BG, the Badlands Guardian. She discovered this image in her vicinity, and she was surprised like everyone else. And then she took the picture of it and she posted it up on a message board, and overnight it went viral.
Navigating the desolate plains of the Alberta Badlands. But as she drives, she gets hopelessly lost.
My grandson was really interested in dinosaurs, and I knew there was a dinosaur museum in Alberta, and so I went on the mapping program.
Lynn's mapping program links to a series of satellites 300 miles high. These beam a constant stream of images to the Earth below. Scrolling.
See, I bet you guys didn't believe me. I bet y'all thought I was crazy and I was lying. No, no, no. So, as she was scrolling through her phone or her mobile device, she discovered the Badlands Guardian. Now, of course, right away, you have your mainstream scientists who they claim to believe that it was done by weathering, like rain and some other natural elements. I guess it's possible that could happen, but it's too much of a coincidence for it to look so much like a human head, like more specifically like a Native American wearing a headdress. You have the ears, you have the eye. No, correction. You don't have the ears. All you have is the nose, the eyes, the headdress. Now, where the ear is supposed to be, there's an actual, like a little, not a gas station, but some gas pumping area right where the ear is supposed to be. And that's where Miss Lynn Hickox was at. She was at that gas location where she pulled it up. So it's so many coincidences for it to be a natural formation.
Geologist Alan Lester is among those who think the head was formed naturally.
The myriad and countless ways in which planet Earth gets eroded are very likely to generate images just like this one. And this is a really nice example of erosion in sedimentary rocks that are alternatingly hard and soft. The hardest regions produce the higher areas, and the soft regions produce the lower areas.
So yeah, mainstream scientists believe that it was caused naturally, but on this channel we don't believe in that. We're gonna do a little creative route, and let's talk about what the ancient astronaut theorists. You like that? Ancient astronaut theorists, like our boy Georgios Tsoukalos and others, believe it was done man-made. But before we get into that real quick, let's take the measurements. Let's look at the measurements of the BG and let's compare it to, like, let's say Mount Rushmore. Okay, so to start off, the height, if you want to look at it that way, the height of the Badlands Guardian is 1/2 mile long, okay, and the length of it's over 1,100 feet. Once again, width is 1/2 mile and the length 1,100 feet, 1,100 feet wide. So we compare that to Mount Rushmore, and yes, I'm looking at my notes. I don't have it memorized. Now let's compare that to Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is 80 feet tall and it's 200 feet wide. Once again, 80 feet tall and 200 feet wide, and that took 14 years to build, from 1927 to 1941. So now, if we want to talk about the BG being man-made, the numbers are right here. It's like 5 times the size of it, and if Mount Rushmore took 14 years, imagine how long it took for the BG to be built. And that's back then, before they even had satellite images, before they even had any helicopters up in the sky to look at it, how they were going to be forming it. It's unfathomable, to be honest with you. And then on top of that, you also have these other experts that claim that what we're seeing, the BG, is just our mind playing games on us. Like it's the same thing. According to them, it's the same thing that, like, when you look up in the sky and you see the cloud, a cloud could be shaped as Mickey Mouse. You know, it's just our minds are just used to seeing images, and that's what this case is here. We just happen to see an image. Our mind is playing a game on us the same way that we see Mickey Mouse up in the sky. No. So when I first found out about the Badlands Guardians about 2 years ago, as I was watching the episode, I was thinking, how did the ancient Native American people, how did they build it? I mean, they needed some assistance, or at least assistance in the point where they needed somebody needed to be up in the sky to be able to direct the people. Hey, carve it like this, carve it like that, carve here, carve there. Because obviously the Badlands Guardians is meant, all right, it's meant to be seen from the aerial view. Meaning, you know, now let's take my opinion. I think it was meant for when out of the world visitors, wink wink, ETs, aliens, as they were coming down or as they were up hovering, the Native Americans wanted them to see this carving. They wanted them to see this sculpture, because it's only been able to, you can only see it from up on top, you know. So from the aerial view, that's my opinion. And now, as far as it being built, just like the, you know, nobody knows how exactly it was made, how it was carved. Just like the pyramids from Egypt and Peru, just like the Nazca lines, just like all these crop circles. Maybe, just maybe, they had some extraterrestrial help while constructing the Badlands Guardian. Because at that time, they shouldn't have had no access to airplanes or any flying saucers or anything for them to be up on top.
They were doing. They must have had assistance by extraterrestrial beings. The Badlands Guardian can only be fully appreciated from the sky. So you have to wonder why. Well, then the answer is people on the ground wanted to signal someone up in the sky.
All right, see, before I continue with this next part, excuse me, before I continue with this next part, I don't know that much about my history on Native Americans. So I could get some of this wrong, but please, if I'm wrong, comment below and don't attack me. I'm just based on my research, all right? So now, the Badlands Guardians, it resembles not just any Native American. From what I did my research on, it actually depicts a medicine man, and the headdress, the medicine man, what they did was they wore the headdress, and that headdress was supposed to communicate with elderly spirits not from this world. That's how they would get their powers, I guess you could say. But they use that headdress with the two feathers to communicate with spirits out of this world being. Okay, so the Badlands Guardians, it depicts a medicine man, a medicine man from the ancient Native Americans. Now, oddly enough, there is a town in its vicinity of the Badlands Guardians that is called Medicine Hat. Okay, so Medicine Hat is the town, and you got the BG, which is showing a medicine man. I think that's a little bit of too much of a coincidence for this whole thing to be just a natural structure, you know. And also, there is from the videos that I was doing for this research, there was a Native American who's considered to be a priest there, and that Native American said that his ancient ancestors already knew, way before the BG was discovered, the ancient ancestors knew about the Badlands Guardians. They knew that it was already there. So if they knew that it was there, if the ancestors knew about the BG, how did they know about it? How at that time were they able to see it from the sky? Or how did they know? See, so that's where it starts to, you have to start using more of your imagination. How did they know? And I don't know, how did they know?
Similar, this looks to an Indian with a headdress on.
More remarkable still is the name of the nearest town. It's called Medicine Hat. This is a translation of the ancient Blackfoot Indian word sa'am, which is the complex eagle feather headdress worn by medicine men. Sa'am, or
asked the old people about Badlands Guardian image, then the elders were saying, you know, our ancestors, you know, they knew about it. They knew of that image long ago.
But if the image is only discernible from high above the Earth, how did ancient tribal Americans know it was there?
That's my million-dollar question to the world. How did they know it was there? How? Further into the episode of Ancient Aliens, our boy, the one and only Giorgio Tsoukalos, he actually comes here to LA. No, not to visit your boy, Mr. Alien Report. I wish. But he actually comes here to LA to visit this, I guess, a computer engineer, some person that's really good with 3D graphics on the computer. This lady, and she's studying the Badlands Guardian. Upon doing so, upon studying the 3D images of the Badlands Guardians, this computer expert with Giorgio there, she comes to conclude, she does her magic, her work, and she is able to figure out, based on the image that's carved there in Canada, that this Native American wearing the headdress also happened to have a elongated skull, same as like the pharaohs in Egypt and whatnot. They happen to have an elongated skull, and she actually comes and she actually draws it all up and she puts it on. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Just take a look at this.
All right, go on.
From there, I created a 3D sculpture, starting with just a normal sized head. So I will overlay the aerial view. And I'm going to create layers. And I'm actually just following the terrain. I'm creating this long neck and I'm creating this elongated head. And here we have it. This is a sculpture. Everything in 3D is mirrored on the other side. So as we turn this around,
And this is what it would look like if that thing on the ground were a person.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
After the buildup of the 3D sculpture, I made a digital piece of artwork that will flesh this entity out.
That looks great. You know, I think it's really cool that you've...
So yeah, man, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I like how she was able to really, in full detail, be able to come up with the way that the person intended to look like. The BG was intended to look like that person. You know, and according also to the ancient Native Americans, the Badlands Guardians could also be depicting their god Napi, which came from the sky god. So many little coincidences about the Badlands Guardians, more so that I didn't know upon me before I even studied this, but I learned more stuff when I came to do research for this video. And I don't know, you think maybe it's just possible that the Badlands Guardians could be used to communicate to the ETs? You know, so many questions that we don't know. It could be used, you know, to communicate. We don't know.
Shaped head.
The idea is that Earth was visited by extraterrestrials a long time ago. And one of my opinions is that the elongated skull people were the actual visitors. And the skeletons that are found today are some of the few remnants of the people that were here a long time ago. Clearly people that look like us, except for that they had an elongated skull. So that to me is fascinating.
Hey, don't we just love our boy, Mr. Giorgio Tsoukalos? He's a legend. He should run for president. All right, guys. So I think that's about it for this video. I dived into the Badlands Guardian, pretty much as much detail as I could. I know that I was gonna go on Google Earth, but I think you guys by now, if you guys stuck around, I think by now you probably have paused it or are going to just research it yourself on Google Earth or Google Maps, etc. So, man, I think I think I covered everything that I could in this video now. That's the Badlands Guardians for you guys, the BG. Check it out on your maps, on your Google. If you guys are from Canada, hey, feel free to comment about it. or send me a message telling me more, hey, you were wrong on this part, you were right about this part, good job, you shouldn't have done this, etc. So guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm gonna do more videos, all right? I hope you like my poster. I hope you like my shirt. By the way, if you guys have any questions about this tattoo, it's Bob Dylan's first album cover, in case you guys may be wondering. All right, guys, but thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like, comment, share it, you know, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Alien Report, out.